Clear. System check. Ailerons. Elevator. Rudder. You're good to go. Clear for takeoff. Okay, we're gonna get the plane ready to fly here. We got our Horizon Hobby Sport Cub S. It's in the box. If you saw my previous video, I was doing an unboxing of it. So let's take it out. Here it is. Now, before we get started with anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and get the battery and the charger out. And this simply plugs in like so into the charger, and now we're just going to plug that into a USB charger. I use a Apple charger, so I'll show that in just a second. Alright, there's our Apple charger. So that's just a little power cube made for a cell phone, iPhone, and we're just going to plug that in to our battery charger. And then of course there's our battery, and over there is our power strip. Get that plugged in and turn on the power. Really simple. And you can see the red light. Let's see if you can see that. See the red light on there on the charger. It's kind of far away, but anyway, that'll take about 45 minutes to charge, and then we'll be ready to put it into the airplane. So meanwhile, while that's charging, we're going to check out the rest of the box here. We have our screws right there. I'm not sure what those are for yet. And our instruction switcher on the back. So I'm going to peel those off. So I'm going to read the instructions, and then I'll be back and show you how to set this up. So the plane comes with this small bag of parts, and it has this plastic bracket and then two little T-brackets. I'm not exactly sure what this is for. It has some screws. There's a cutout on the bottom of the plane that looks just like it. It may be for mounting the floats, would be my guess. So I'm just going to leave that off for now. I don't have floats for this. I didn't really see in the instructions anywhere about it talking about the floats. But so we're just going to leave those off. So next step is I'm going to go ahead and hook up a battery. This is a battery I use for my Nano over there. It doesn't have any Velcro on the back. I'm just gonna plug it into the plane and let it free float underneath there while I get my radio bound. Now I'm gonna be using the DX-6 Spektrum radio again. So there's the radio. So we'll see how that works out. I'm gonna read the instructions and get it set up. And then what I'll do is walk you through the steps of setting up the radio. Alright, we're going to bind the Sport Cub S by Horizon Hobby with the Spektrum DX-6 radio. Really nice radio. I like it a lot. So I'm going to kick it on here, and let's get it going. So first step, I'm going to move the plane out of the way so I don't smash it. We're going to go to System Setup, and we want to leave the main screen. There we go. We're going to go to Model Select. We're going to add a new model. Yes, we want to create a model. Now we're going to go to Model Type. We're going to pick Airplane. Hit Yes for the confirm. Model Name. Okay, this is where we name it. I'm going to call it Cub S so I don't get confused. So bear with me a second while I type that in. And I may have a larger plane I'm going to be working with, so that's why I want to make sure I get this typed in correctly so I don't get confused. So this is going to be the Cub S. Notice you can put spaces here. This is a really cool menu. There's a lot of characters and so forth you can use, so pretty much spell anything you want. So we're going to call it Cub S. There we go. Got that. Now we're going to go to back out. And let's see. Now we're going to go to channel assign. So down the list we go. There's channel assign. We want to go to next on this. And what we're doing is we're following the manual. So in your manual, you're going to see these setups. So what we're doing is setting up the gear and the auxiliary 1. So of course the manual's a little bit hard to follow, but this is actually what we're doing. So we're going to assign the gear channel to toggle switch D. So I'm going to click on that and select D and then click again. So notice now channel 5 is operated by switch D. So I have 3 positions, 0, 1, and 2. 0 is the beginner setting, 1 is an intermediate, and then 2 is advanced. And basically at 2 it's a full control. There's really no assistance from the aircraft. As you may know, this aircraft actually has a little flight computer on it that helps stabilize the airplane. And it's amazing how stable the plane is in the beginner mode. I really can't believe it. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is set up the auxiliary 1 button. And what that is if the plane's flying along and it gets in an odd attitude, when you hit auxiliary 1 or that button, it levels the plane back out. It's really pretty interesting how it does that. So I'm going to set it up with this button. This is the one they recommend. This is the I button. So this is all we do for that. Click on there, scroll till you get to I, excuse me, and click that. All right, that's all we have to do. So we're going to exit out of that, back, and now we're going to go to the main screen. And we only have a couple more things to do here. Actually, maybe just one thing. So we're going to go to Servo Setup. And what we're going to do is we're going to reverse auxiliary 1. That setting needs to be reversed per the manual. So I'm going to go to Travel, click on that, and then I'm going to scroll till I get to reverse. See how I'm doing that? A little bit tricky. So you click on Travel, then you scroll till you get to reverse, select that with the button, and then we're going to come down here to auxiliary 1 and we're going to click that, and that basically has reversed that servo. So now we're going to exit out, hit back, and there we go. So you can see our plane number 1 is Cub S, and it's ready to go. So without further ado, here's how we bind it. So we're going to turn the radio off. Okay, that's the only time you do this. Here's our airplane. We're going to have the radio off. We're going to plug our battery in. See if I can get this on camera. I'm going to plug our battery in. I'm just amazed by these little small batteries and how much performance this little plane has. I mean, it flies like a large plane. It's beautiful seeing it in the air. It reminds me of seeing a real plane. I like the scale of it and really quite neat. So I've got that plugged in. Battery's powered up. You can hear the servos kick on. Let's zoom out here a little bit with the tripod. All right. Now, we have the plane powered on, okay? We're going to bring our radio over, kick it on. Bring this up so you can see it. All right, now we're going to go down to, let's see, System Setup. This is where we're going to bind the airplane, okay? We're going to bind it. The plane is on, the radio's on. We're going to go down to bind and put receiver into bind mode, and then select bind so the receiver is on the airplane. It is in bind mode. We go to bind, click on that.
DSMX 22 milliseconds.
There we go. That's all there is to it. I don't know if you heard the lady in the box, but she said it's complete. As you can see now, the plane is operational. Pretty cool, huh? Now, let's look at this real quick. So let's put the plane like that. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Raise it up a little more here. All right. Now, if you notice in beginner mode, I have it in position 0. When I put in a little aileron, it's also moving the rudder. See the rudder moving in the back? So the plane is mixing controls for me, which is really pretty neat. And then of course I have my elevator in the back. Also notice I'm giving this full throw, but look how really not much movement in the control surfaces. Now if I switch to full control to 2 position, now notice when I move my ailerons, no rudder. I have to remove the rudder independently. And notice how much the rudder will swing now. Also, look at how much the elevator moves up and down. So, very interesting how it's set up. I'm very impressed with how this plane flies. Just a beautiful plane, and I love having this radio because I can fly my Nano QX with the radio. I can fly the plane with the radio. This radio is very high quality, and in my opinion, for the price, it's really a good value. I think I can put 100 models into this thing, so that's pretty awesome. So I'm really looking forward to working with it more. So that's how we do it. That's how you bind the Cub S with the DX-6. That concludes my getting it ready to fly video. Really, there wasn't a whole lot to it, was there? And now we're ready to fly. I'll tell you a secret. I've already flown it some, and it's been a lot of fun. So I may try to capture some video of it flying. It's a little bit tricky. Maybe with a GoPro camera on my head or something. So we'll see. If I have some time, I may do that. But I wanted to get this set up for you so you can see how to do that. The instructions, I'll have to say, are a bit difficult, you know, for a beginning person. They really give you very little information, and I'd say that's a bit of a learning curve. In fact, it's almost easier to fly the plane than it is to do this setup, I think, for a lot of people. So, basic controls, you know, this is your, let's flip it over here so you can see it. This is your elevator, of course, so that makes the plane go up and down. Push the stick forward, it goes down. Pull the stick back, it goes up. You have your ailerons, which rolls the plane in the air. It does this. And then, of course, you have your rudder, which steers the plane. And you got to watch out on the throttle, or it'll take off on you. And, of course, you have your throttle. Notice the very smooth, linear speed control. Very impressive. So I'm really like this little plane. It's a lot of fun to fly. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching Project King videos. I won't bore you, and we'll see you next time.